Hi guys. Welcome back, welcome aboard, welcome home. Completely depending on where you are in alignment to this week, this message, this channel, this energy, however it sits for you. So we're starting this week on Monday the 16th of August, running through the 22nd of August 2021. Last night, very super late before this week, Venus moved into Libra. She has got her own video for that movement, so if you'd like to listen, that's absolutely fine. So this week we start off with the Sagittarius moon. Our big aspect on Monday happens in the evening. Mercury is in conjunct Saturn. And other than that, the moon makes some aspects to Mercury, Saturn, Mars, and then Chiron and Uranus, right? So this is about how do you feel about your connectivity, right? And your expression of that connectivity and your engagement with it, right? It's about finding your patterns and making the changes and allowing the changes. And most importantly, allowing the changes no matter how sudden the shift might be. And that's important, right? As Mercury moves with Saturn, we know that we will have an opportunity to shift and change our day-to-day, to shift and change the way that we express. And honestly, the way we express from our places of power or our places of healing, right? So definitely knowing which is which is going to be very important. And in Sagittarius, that's great, right? With that Sagittarius moon, it will really allow you to feel into how you perceive yourself in relationship to the abstract, to things that are bigger or larger than you, and then how you express your connectivity to them in real 3D. Perfect for that recent Libra moving, Venus moving into Libra. On Tuesday, the Sun is in conjunct Pluto, right? And then the Moon aspects Neptune and the Sun and Jupiter, and then moves into Capricorn super late. So this is about a realignment of your identity, right? Of being either in your power or out of your power. It might feel a little bit suspended, right? Moon squaring Neptune is going to be about feelings. Remembering that Neptune is in retrograde. So there's going to be clarity about your feelings, right? Clarity about your feelings. And coming off of that Mercury in conjunct Saturn, right, there's going to be a real opportunity to dive into the way you're feeling, right? And whether you're going to feel confident or powerless, whether you're going to feel authentic, right? Whether you're going to feel powerful. And in the evening, right, Jupiter comes into sextile with the moon, allowing for expansion of those feelings, right? But then as we move that moon into Capricorn overnight, it's about how do those feelings stand in service? What do I do about them? So I would advise you that as you are moving through that evening alignment on Tuesday, that you take care not to make too many overextensions, over promises, because you're going to have to make good on them after the moon moves into Capricorn. And then on Wednesday, this is a day of function, right? We've got a Capricorn moon, and that Capricorn moon squares Venus, allowing you to get a whole lot done. And then Mars is going to move in conjunct to Chiron. Mercury is going to move in conjunct Chiron. The moon is going to square Chiron, right? There's a whole bunch of business about how am I moving, how am I feeling, how am I expressing from my state, am I healed, am I unhealed, And then Mercury is going to roll right by Mars, asking what you gonna do about that. And then the moon trines Mars and Mercury. So it's a whole day about expression and feeling and function and healing. So, right, what's the status of your life, of your relationships, of your finances, of your 3D experience? What is happening, right? What am I experiencing? What am I expressing? What's your motivation, right? Have you been clear on your why? Have you expressed from your heart? Have you expressed clearly? And if not, then chances are you're probably not moving in the direction you desire to go. Now, if you have been, that's great. Have a self-care day, right? That's a beautiful earthy day to have a whole lot of self-care. But if you haven't, then get right with what is happening in your heart, in your state of healed or unhealed, and work on that, right? On Thursday, right, this is about a day of creation. We have that beautiful Earth energy then moving into a grand Earth trine with Uranus, right? So we've got Mercury, Mars, and Uranus, expression, action, and sudden change. So really, what comes next, right? The Sun is also in opposition to Jupiter, and Uranus goes retrograde. Well, that's so exciting. So this is about real life changes. It's about power behind your real life changes, right? The Sun opposite Pluto is really talking about your identity. It's talking about balanced expansion. It's also talking about keeping mind of your plan as Uranus goes retrograde, right? That's an internal motion of your shifting. So it is an opportunity for, listen to these words, explosive inner growth, right? It has the power to shift the way that you are in creation, especially as the moon conjuncts Pluto this day. So if you are in alignment with your deepest power, then there is nothing you cannot create, become, or manifest, right? So be in that mode. And then on Friday, of course, Mercury trines Uranus, right, or left over from that grand trine the next day. And then the moon moves into Aquarius, and then aspects beautiful Libra Venus, conjunct Saturn, and sextiles Chiron. So this is about expression. It's it's really about that now kind of internal monologue or dialogue as the moon moves into Aquarius, right? How do I fit into the collective? How am I in service? What am I here to create? How do I want to stand in this purpose? How do I want to create from my healing, or from my state, or what am I creating in my unhealed state? So those are some things that you're going to want to be aware of. And then on Saturday, right, the moon will aspect Mars and Uranus and Mercury, and then kind of overnight, Mars is going to trine Uranus. So with that beautiful also Venus trining the North Node, and then Mars trining Uranus, right? This is a shift in how we create our inner world. That's aligning with the interpretation of our own destiny, right? And how we create it. How do we create it? Day by day, right? Every single day. And we're always in that state of openness to something new that might come in, whatever that might be. And that's just how you have to play it, right? Day by day, but always being mindful that every day might bring a shift. And then on Sunday, Sunday the 22nd, Sunday the 22nd, the moon is in Aquarius and conjuncts Jupiter very early in the morning, basically overnight. And then super early in the morning, we have a beautiful 29-degree Aquarius full moon. It's 7 o'clock Central Time, after which the moon will move right into Pisces, and then later on in that day, the sun is going to move into Virgo, and then that beautiful newly minted Pisces moon is going to move in conjunct our now Libra Venus, right? So this is about being gratitude, being an assessment, right? So the moon conjuncts Jupiter, and then, you know, it moves. So this is about cautious movement, measured movement, planned movement, right? Mind your journey. It's about kind of looking down and being in the moment, right? And so let's talk about these two motions, the sun moving into Virgo, the moon moving into Pisces. This particular complementary energy set is about service, serve or suffer, right? These are my keywords for Virgo and Pisces. So Virgo is about service, and Pisces is about being aware that if you're not in service, then you're suffering, which is why Pisces has so much escape energy, right? Because if you're not in alignment, if you're not doing the right thing, and I'm air quoting right, because right is simply your perspective, your experience, your expectation for yourself as yourself, then what happens is that we suffer. We look for escape. We look for ways to avoid the experience of our life. Well, Virgo is not going to allow that. So for this time, especially at this full moon, really be in awareness of how do you want to feel in this 3D experience. What are you creating? Are you creating it with higher purpose, right? Virgo sun is going to require, right? There can be no looking away. That's a very analytical, very present energy, and Pisces is a very escapist energy. So there's going to be a conflict, right? And so you're really going to have to be in awareness of what you're creating, what space you're holding, and how you're in motion, right? Or stagnation, one of the two. So it's going to be a pretty big full moon, guys. Whoa, hey. So be ready for that, because it's going to be an important one. The second in Aquarius, of course, always a big deal. Especially with all this motion we have in the collective, right? We have not one but two opportunities to, sorry, I'm rereading Dune, so that makes me laugh. Anyway, not one but two opportunities to be in your awareness of your place within the collective. Did that flip? Nope. And how you're in service, right? Aquarius, of course, being that sign of either highest self-expression or highest self-absorbing. So it's a pretty big deal, really. Either way, you have two opportunities in this lunar cycle to create yourself as fully actualized, and then place yourself within the collective. Always a big deal. Always a big deal. Okay. Yeah, thanks. All right, so let's talk about these. Monday. We've got Justice, we've got the Three of Swords. Justice, right? Fairness, balance, harmony. As we talked, Venus just moved into Libra. And so the Three of Swords, this is heartbreak, this is loss, this is sadness. And so we talked about Mercury being in conjunct Saturn, right? That is heavy energy. That's how you feel about your connectivity, right? Finding your patterns, allowing the shifts and changes, no matter how sudden. And sometimes that means you have to release things to balance your scales, right? If you're holding on to everything in one hand, then you get a little kind of cattywampus. And so sometimes it's about using that sword and cutting things away so that you're more in balance. Don't be afraid to be in alignment with how you feel. Remember, that moon is squaring Mars, asking you to make those changes. Don't be afraid of them. Don't hold back. On Tuesday, right, we have the sun in conjunct Pluto. We're talking about identity. We're talking about power. We're talking about enlivening our expansion, right? Where do we put our power? Well, the Seven of Wands is that place of what are we defending? And if things are worth defending, if this emotional embodiment and love that we experience and feel and have in our heart, right? Moon square Neptune, we're not in denial. We cannot be in denial of our feelings at this point. How are we going to defend that, right? What are we going to do about it? Am I standing in my authenticity? Am I standing in my power? And if I am, then my cup is full, right? If I am, my cup is full and I don't have to worry about my identity. That is well worth defending. So if you're in release of the things that don't need to be in your presence, that aren't keeping you in balance, then the work you have to do is minimal. You don't really have much to defend because you're already in your embodiment. On Wednesday, right, we talked about this as the day that there's all that earth energy in terms of Mars and Mercury and the moon, right? And then the cap moon, right, is going to ask us to really be in power of function, right? So strength, of course, this is a card of faith. And Page of Pentacles, this is about new ways of creating your life, right? What is happening? What am I experiencing? What is my motivation? What am I expressing, right, in my heart's desires? If I'm expressing my heart's desires, then I'm not fighting for anything. I don't have to, because it's already there. If I've already let go of the things that were weighing me down or holding me back, then there's nothing I need to do except be in my embodiment. Have faith, right? Have faith, and then that resource state, right, will come. What I'm doing, new ways of doing things, your experience is based on faith. Then you don't have to kind of meander through all of that nonsense and heartache, right? So on Thursday, we've got the Four of Pentacles and the World. We talked about this as the day that Uranus goes retrograde, the day that the sun is in opposition to Venus, right? We also have that beautiful grand Earth trine with Mercury and Mars and Uranus, creating what comes next. Again, this is about releasing, right? The world requires us to be in cycles. This is the day that we're going to turn within as Uranus is retrograde. Explosive inner growth, right? We can't hold on to anything. We're not going to be able to do that. The energy will not tolerate it. The energy will only allow us to release what we don't need and step into this new way of being. Because guess what? The world is always in motion. This is about cycles. This is about learning and integration. And what happens when you get to that level of, yes, I've learned this lesson. You have to integrate it. You have to let the cycle go, right? It's not enough to just learn the lesson. Then you have to complete the cycle and accept what's coming in behind it. That means no holding on, right? It's about faith, y'all. On Friday, this is a beautiful day. The moon moves into Aquarius, right? This is, again, talking about how do I fit in the collective? What is my purpose? Is my journey really an outward manifestation of my self-expression? Well, we've got the devil. Again, we're holding on. What are we holding on to? Well, things that we're holding on to, you have opportunity. Again, you have opportunity to release something and let something go, right? This whole week is an opportunity. What are you holding on to? What are you stepping into? What are you holding on to? What are you stepping into? In every case, it's about releasing what is outdated, what is no longer in service. And these could just be habits, right? sometimes we don't know what we know until we think about it. Sometimes we just do things over and over and over again, and then we realize, wait a minute, why am I doing this, right? So in all those ways that you are a servant to your habit, a servant to your unconsciousness, right? To your fear, or to your innate defense mechanisms, right? Or to your stories of heartbreak, of sadness, of loss. Well, the universe is saying, yeah, maybe, but maybe not, right? Maybe you already have everything in your hand. Maybe your cup is already full and you're just not paying attention. Maybe you have all this inner strength. Hey, how about a new way to look at that? Oh, okay, sure. Let go of whatever that was and look what comes in. Everything divinely blessed, right? Moving forward, your cup is already full. You might as well get on the road and start walking. You might as well witness your healing journey as your self-expression, right? Let that be your story. Don't hold on to what's been just because it's the way you've always told the story. Let it go. Let it be back there. You don't need it. Again, hello. Saturday, we're talking about Venus trining the North Node, giving you an opportunity to create a new future from your heart's desire. We're talking about a Virgo Mars squaring Taurus Uranus now in retrograde. How am I going to recreate myself, right? This allows you, like we said, to shift how you're creating that inner world and align it with your interpretation of your own destiny. This is what you create day by day. What is the Five of Cups? I'm so sad I've spilled these cups. Look, I have 2 cups right there. Oh, where would I rather look? Would I look over here? Would I look back there? Well, guess what? You get to deal with that emotional turbulence, or you get to deal with your own balance in terms of what you're creating versus what you're holding on to. I mean, let go. Just let go. Nobody needs to focus on this. Don't focus on the old stuff. Focus on these 2 cups behind you because they're full. They want you to be happy. Don't keep looking back there. Dude, Sunday, full moon. What did we talk about, right? This is 29 degrees of Aquarius. It's about being in gratitude and assessment. It's about moving forward, but in a cautious, planned way, minding your journey, looking down, being in the moment, serve or suffer. We've got the Hermit. This says, okay, if you've done that work, then you get to move forward. But be mindful. Do it mindfully. Allow the light to pull you forward instead of moving recklessly, right? It is no secret. It is no accident that we bookend this week with swords. Don't get in your own head about it. Just be in this energy, guys. And look, all time is now. Please, let your business go, right? Be in the now. Don't be looking back. Don't be defending whatever it is that you feel like you need to defend. Don't be holding on to stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. Don't be looking at your attachments and the ways and the stories that you've woven, right? The chains that you are voluntarily holding on to. For God's sake, be an expression of your highest love. Don't be looking over your shoulder, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. You're right here, not there. Take all of that knowledge and move forward in the light, right? In the light. Please, thank you. All right, let's check out this little earthworm. He's very cute. Like I said, I'm rereading Dune because that movie's coming out, y'all. Look how cute he is. I like him. Okay, earthworm. Shy, hesitant, reluctant to share one's inner vision. We've all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember that they once felt that earthworm energy too. everybody's the new guy at some point, right? Everybody starts out as a beginner. But whether you hold on to that idea that you don't know as much as you think you know, that's on you, right? This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time, and you're on the right track, right? Besides, rumor has it that a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights. So again, allow yourself to create something new. Don't get stuck in what you think a thing looks like, in what you expect it to be, what it's always been. Well, this is the thing I don't want to let go of it, right? It's been my experience for so long, and I'm just not sure how to get past it. Well, guess what? You make the decision, and the energy is already new, right? The world turns. It doesn't wait for you. It's already in motion. It's already blessed, right? You're already blessed. You're already embodying it. The only thing that's keeping you back there is your constant revisiting, your holding on to that energy, your refusal to move forward into that next step of time. With all this earth energy, I love it that we have the earthworm, right? Because that earthworm is moving through that earth energy, allowing you to dig deeply and create new pathways through what felt like bedrock, right? And it might not be. It's only bedrock if you accept it as such. And so change your belief, change your life. Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor. All right, seed the light by staying grounded. Okie dokie then. All right, let's read this. You are an ancient keeper of the stars, here to anchor and seed your light in a unique way. You've likely been incarnating on Earth for some time, dedicated to an era of awakening and bringing about a long-awaited shift in the planet's evolution. We're at a tipping point now. The survival of Earth and all its species is coming to a head. The more grounded you remain during this transitional period, the more helpful you'll be. All this Earth, serve or suffer, right? The more you tend to the flames of your own heart, the more love you'll anchor on this planet. Yes, please. Yes, please. The wisdom of the stars is imprinted on your soul. The more soul fragments you call home, the more this wisdom is seated here. You may be called to be in different places in the world to anchor this light. Perhaps by taking a trip or living in a certain location. You may also find yourself experiencing awakening symptoms. The more grounded you remain, the more stable Earth's energy will become, and the less reactive humanity will be. You're here for a double mission, to grow as an individual and as part of a larger collective that's bringing about a shift in frequency. Trust that you can be in the world but not of it, and lead a truly glorious life. The starseed activation for this card is as follows. Place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. I acknowledge that I'm a star keeper. I choose to anchor my light and stay as grounded as possible. Look, I don't even have to explain it all again, do I? Put your feet on the ground and let your heart be the expression of what you feel in your toes. Right? This is not hard. It's simply about being in service, not just to yourself, but to the collective. And by being in service to yourself, you are in service to the collective. Let Uranus retrograde shake up everything you have believed possible. for yourself, for this world, for everything. Allow the shift, guys, day by day. Right. Allow your experience and your journey to be your antenna, right, to everything that you are. Explosive inner growth. Yeah. Big blessings.